Hello from Joplin, Missouri, and Ozark Christian College. Final day of the 2019 ACCA Basketball Championship. We start with the 7th place game on the men's side of things as Ozark Christian College, the 5 seed at 13 and 18, takes on the 3-seeded Kansas Christian Falcons at 21 and 7. Hi again, everybody. Chris Sheeman here with you. Here is the bracket and this final day. So the 7th place game, followed by the 5th place game, then the 3rd place game, and later on tonight, the championship game between Champion Christian and Arlington. Let's meet the starting lineups for both of these teams. We'll start with Chris Lamb's Ozark Christian Ambassadors. Starting today for Chris Lamb's team is number 10, Tyler Allerid, number 25, Nicholas Sarin, number 35, Bryce Money, number 41, Miles Dressler, and number 45, Tanner Moore. Starting today for the Falcons, John Jansen in his 2nd season. Starting number 1, Antonio Daniels, number 11, Ja'Cory Washington, number 13, Stephone Jackson, number 22, B.J. Murray, and number 24, Corday Bass. Kansas losing in the quarterfinals to Champion, and then the Falcons winning the play-in game against Rama yesterday. Meanwhile, Ozark, they lost to both Arlington in the quarterfinals and then to Barclay in the consolation game. So Ozark at 13 and 18, Kansas Christian at 21 and 7. These two teams are meeting for the 4th time this year. Kansas Christian has defeated Ozark all 3 previous meetings. So these two teams certainly very familiar with one another. Bryce Money yesterday going over 1,000 career points for Ozark. Great congratulations to Bryce, who's playing in his final collegiate game. Antonio Daniels is the lone senior for Kansas, wrapping up his collegiate career here today in Joplin. So these two rivals meeting for the 4th time this season, and we're just about set to get it underway. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you here today. It will be a more laid-back play-by-play call, as the voice is not what it was when the tournament started. Dressler to tip it, and it's won by the Falcons. This is Washington, so no Darwin James in the starting lineup, which is interesting for John Jansen's team. He is usually the main guard, point guard, ball handling guard. Antonio Daniels has been doing work all tournament long as he gets on the board here. Daniels came in averaging 13 a game, and those numbers are likely to go up. Allerid answers back, and we are tied at 2 apiece. Well, I've only got 2 previous meetings between Kansas and Ozark. The first one back on January 4th, Kansas won 75-62. And then the most recent meeting on January 31st, Kansas won in a close one, 89-85. These two teams, I don't believe, met in the regional. Oh, they did meet in the regional, and Kansas won that one in a high-scoring affair, 101-89. So, a couple of easy victories for the Falcons, one nail-biter in the first 3 meetings between these two schools. Miles Dressler is making a case for all-tournament team. 28 points per game. He's got 56 total in the first 2 games, 10 offensive rebounds as well. Turnaround shot by Murray got it to go. Kansas leads 4-2 here in the 7th place game. Answering back, that's Bryce Money. He's up to 1,004 career points now, Bryce Money. The conference MVP, fourth in scoring in the ACCA coming into the tournament at 21.2 points per ball game. Had a shoulder injury during the loss to Arlington, and fortunate for him, he is able to get back out there, get to 1,000 points before he wraps up his career. Daniel stepped back, missed it short. Good ball movement. Sarin from downtown, no. Tip for the rebound. Allery trying to poke it away, but Bass is there for Kansas. Corday drawing the foul. Dressler picking up his first foul. Corday Bass, 71% free throw shooter during the regular season. That was the first foul of the game, 2.5 minutes in. Corday gets them both. Kansas retakes the lead. Tyler Allerid. Strong move to the bucket by Sarin. Sarin, a sophomore. Allerid, a freshman. Dressler, a sophomore. He missed all of last year with an injury. A lot of good players coming back for Chris Lamb's team. B.J. Murray, just a freshman, speaking of youth, for Kansas, and he's got 4 points. And 2 rebounds. Murray looking to push. He'll take it himself. Finger rolls it in. So B.J. Murray getting the start, being aggressive. Money to Moore. Moore lays it up and in. Jackson and Daniels playing one-on-one. Now Jackson to the bucket. He'll score. Moore at the charity stripe. Money top of the key. Money guarded by Murray. Thought about the step back instead to Sarin, who drives in, kicks it out. Allerid for 3. Yes. We are tied again at 12 apiece here in the first 4 minutes. We expected high scoring. We're getting high scoring. It was 101-89 to Kansas in their last meeting. Washington from mid-range puts the Falcons up by 2. Bryce Money gets it to Moore on the baseline. Thought about it. Instead, back out to Money. Six on the shot clock. Dressler gets it out. Allerid with the fake. He didn't get the bucket, but that was a smart decision. Traveling the call now on Daniels, so Ozark's going to get it back. Wilkins DeSur comes into the game. Corday Bass comes out for John Jansen's team. Washington. Ball deflected, taken away by Dressler. Outlet to Money. Money steps right, fires the triple. Can't get the bounce. DeSur the rebound. 2-on-1 back down the other end. Murray takes it himself, and he's got 2 more to his total. B.J. Murray was 6. That ball deflected by Kansas out of bounds. For Ozark, Sarin will inbound it. Allered into the lane, rejected by Jackson, but he's out of bounds. Still great defensive play for Stephone Jackson. He had just one block during the regular season. Antonio Daniels pulling down and board. Washington slows it up. Desser to the bucket, too strong. Tip for the rebound, and it's controlled by Allered. His bounce pass deflected out by Daniels. Good anticipation by Antonio. Senior from Birmingham, Alabama. Former NAIA player at Central Christian. Leading blocker not only on his team, but in the ACCA. Sarin open for three. So Sarin with three more. Ozark cuts the deficit down to one. Daniels with the hand in his face, an air ball. Dressler, another rebound for him. Mentioned Miles Dressler been rebounding the ball very well here in this tournament, averaging 8 a game. He's got 10 offensive rebounds. Turnaround shot by Moore, can't get the hook to go. Here come the Falcons. Daniels to the hoop. Daniels, big man move right there, increasing his team's lead out to 3. Excuse me. Money spinning, firing, scoring. Bryce Money. Let's see, what's that now? 1,006 career points. The reverse, Desser rejected by Dressler. Great defense from Ozark. Allered, his defender, went for the steal, left him open, can't get the three. Money the offensive board. Guarded by Jackson in the man-to-man for Kansas. Sarin turns on the Jets to the bucket, yes. So Ozark takes the lead back. They've led a couple of times here in this one. Just about 8 minutes in, 7th place game. Washington getting a screen, splits 2 defenders. Bounce pass to the cutter, Desser, back out to Washington. Here's Jackson rising, yes. Stephone Jackson, the leading scorer on the team, one of 4 players in double figures at 16 points per game, 46% shooter during the regular season. Allered double teamed, and Dressler was all alone. Got to communicate defensively. Desser went on the double team, and nobody came to help on his man. Dressler averaging 28 points a game here in this tournament. Getting 2 here. Jackson for 3, no. Follows his miss. Can't get the layup. That's too bad. I love to see guys rewarded for following their shots, especially if you know it's not going in. Hustle, get that rebound. Get the putback. More times than not, you'll get it. Money. He's a senior. We're going to call that an assist. That was a pass. That wasn't an air ball. Timeout. We'll step aside. 10:52 left to go. Seventh place game. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. All teams playing pretty well here in the early going. Sometimes you wonder in these early games, consolation games, what kind of energy are the teams going to come out with? Kansas was in the championship game last year. I think they thought that they were going to be more competitive than things played out, but both teams, and credit to their coaches, John Jansen, heck of a high school coach in his time in Overland Park, now a collegiate opportunity for him in his second year here at KCC, and Chris Lamb, the longtime coach here at Ozark. I read an article that said it was Chris Lamb's 17th season. I think he's been here longer than that, though. It's 32nd overall. I see some old pictures of the teams from back in the 90s, and it looks like a younger Chris Lamb is coaching those teams. So I would venture to guess most of those 32 years have been here. He also runs the ACCA, by the way. Daniels from the half circle can't get it to go. Money the rebound. Money had it poked away by DeSer, chases it down. Past the midway point of this opening half. Hurd into the game. Walters also out there, Jordan Walters. Shot clock is at 5. Bryce Money going to have to create something here. Nice defense by Jackson to stay with Money. Running and gunning the Falcons, and traveling is the call on Bass. Cooper Almaschlecker coming in for Ozark, and for Kansas, it's Deshaun Graves. Josh Plain also out there for the Falcons. Joining Bass, Jackson, and DeSer. Money and Dressler, the lone starters that remain, with Almaschlecker and Hurd, also Walters. Dressler triple teamed. Couple of fakes, draws the foul with 5 on the shot clock. Miles Dressler came in averaging 16 a game. So far in this tournament, with that free throw, he's got 59 points. Of course, Ozark with Bryce Money at less than 100%. Certainly yesterday, he looks a little better today with that shoulder. Money's been having to defer a little more to Dressler, and Dressler stepping up. He's just a sophomore, too. 2 more years for Miles Dressler here at Ozark. We'll see him next year in this tournament, no doubt. Good deflection. Campbell with the steal. Brett Campbell to Walters. Money left to Dressler. Dressler double-teamed. Money cut off on the baseline. Shot clock winding down again. Almaschlecker, yes, on the 3. So Ozark leads by 8. Almaschlecker came in 26% from behind the arc. He hit a couple of big ones yesterday in the loss to Barclay. 3 from Graves, and Graves able to connect. Big bucket for Kansas as Ozark was pushing the lead out. Now it's back down to 5 for the Ambassadors. Shot clock at 9. Money with 2. Walters is going to have to hoist, and that's an air ball that will go out of bounds. Alarid and Moore returning for Ozark, and for Kansas, it's Daniels and Washington back into the game. 7 minutes left to go here in this first half. We'll take our usual halftime break. It's been 15 minutes. I don't know if they're going to cut it down to 10. We've had 2-hour blocks between games, and today it's only an hour 45, so they might shorten the halftime. So, you know, give yourself 10 minutes, check back in, see where we're at. If you see the halftime graphic still up, you know that it's probably going to be a 15-minute. Campbell, the extra pass. Almaschlecker, same spot, different result. He's 1 for 2 from that area. DeSur into the lane, throws it right to Tanner Moore. Almaschlecker rejected by Daniels. Ball goes out of bounds, so it'll stay with Ozark. Daniels, the leading blocker in the ACCA. During the regular season, he had 23. Miles Dressler actually has 4 in the tournament to lead everybody in that category. Foul going to be called on Kansas. It's their second. Ozark with 1. Fourth meeting between these two programs. Walters, the bounce pass to Almaschlecker, 7 to shoot. Almaschlecker gets it out more with 4. Kansas's defense has really forced Ozark in the last about 3 or 4 possessions. So the Falcons picking up, and on the defensive end, got to try to find something here offensively with Daniels now. Had it poked away by Moore. Great defense by Tanner Moore. Couple of steals since coming back into the game. Walters, bounce pass to the cutter Campbell, and he will score. Jordan Walters with the assist. Brett Campbell with the bucket. Lead back to 7 for Ozark. Daniels goes right around Moore. Strong move for the senior leader for the Falcons. Alarid swings it out. Walters dared to shoot. He does, and he buries it. Jordan Walters, 27% three-point shooter, looking good on that deep one. Runner in the lane by Murray is good. Alarid. Campbell from the elbow. Good defense again from the Falcons. Daniels steps inside the arc, short on the jumper. Kansas the extra possession. Murray to Daniels. Daniels, yes, and the foul. So Antonio Daniels will go to the line, try to complete an old school three-point play. And the three-point play is complete, so Ozark's lead cut down to 3. Inside 4 minutes to play here in this opening half. 7th place game in this 2019 ACCA Men's National Championship. Chris Shima, glad to be with you from Joplin, Missouri. 37th annual ACCA tournament. The Cooper Almaschlecker now with 5, and the lead back to 5. The smallest collegiate organization in the country, the ACCA. I mentioned it during another game we did. This tournament you wouldn't know it. They do everything here so well. I've done so many different tournaments in the USCAA and the NAIA and the NCAA and the NCCAA. And nice hustle by Moore as he gets the putback. Ozark leading by 7 now. This has been one of my favorites to do. It's a well-run event. Chris Lamb, Joplin Sports Authority, everybody here does such a great job. We got all this great information for you, stats, and thank the coaches for providing all that. Dressler back into the game. Campbell coming out. Washington will inbound it now, left of the hoop. Jackson coming into the game. Falcons also bringing back in DeSer. Jackson will inbound it, left of the hoop. And the games have, for the most part, been pretty competitive, especially on the men's side. We've had 3 different winners in the last 3 years. Arlington trying to make it back-to-back championships this year. They'll go up against Champion tonight at 6, approximately 6. 3 by Murray, can't get it to go with the shot clock at 7. Sarin on the near side. Kansas, this looks like a 3-2 zone. Maybe even a 2-1-2. Box and 1. Something like that. Campbell, if I keep saying the options, then one of them's got to be right. Falcons will get it back here. Bryce Money back into the game for Ozark. 1:47 left to go here in the half. Clean game, both teams with 2 team fouls. Low scoring by these 2 school standards, but it's early on a Saturday. You got to expect a little bit of the numbers to drop. Sarin. Here's Allarid. Bryce Money gets it over to Sarin. Sarin cut off on the baseline. Shot clock winding down again. It's at 5. Good defense in this first half for Kansas. Sarin gets the offensive rebound on his miss. Allarid thought about it. Inside a minute to go. Here's Dressler. Money is all alone. Swishes it through, and Ozark takes its biggest lead of the day, 40-30. Jackson over to Murray. Ball deflected. Money with the steal. He's got Allarid ahead of the pack. Lays it up and in. Nice pass by Bryce Money, and Allarid benefits. In transition, Jackson had it ripped away, and Ozark can hold for the final shot. Money's got numbers, missed it, ball deflected out, and there's going to be a foul called on Kansas. So 12.8, and Ozark will hold for the final shot, leading by 12. Miles Dressler wide open for 3, too strong. Time to work with for Kansas. Very little, though. DeSer from half court. Can't get it to go. And Ozark with a good showing here in the 7th place game. After 20 minutes, they lead it 42-30. It will be a 15-minute halftime break, so we'll step aside for 15. Come back, bring you the first half numbers, second half play-by-play. Welcome back to Joplin. Final 20 minutes of the 7th place game. Ozark in control by 12. Good shooting half for both teams. Ozark at 44%, Kansas at 43%. Kansas with 8 turnovers to just 2 for Ozark. And the points off turnovers are 9-zip in favor of the Ambassadors, and that's really the biggest difference between the stats. Everything else is roughly even. Leading scorers in the half, one player in double figures, that's B.J. Murray for Kansas Christian. He's got 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting. 9 points for Antonio Daniels with 4 rebounds. And those are your leaders for the Falcons. Balanced attack for Chris Lamb's team. Bryce Money leading Ozark with 8 points. 7 apiece for Oliver and Sarin. 6 for Tanner Moore to go along with 7 rebounds. Cooper Olmschucker's got 5, and 4 for Miles Dressler. So those are your first half numbers, 42-30. Ozark with the lead, trying to take 7th place here in this ACCA National Championship. Sarin now with 9 points as he increases the lead out to 14. Jackson gets it out. Murray's had the hot hand for Kansas. Can't get the 3 to go. Here comes Bryce Money. Final collegiate game for Bryce Money for Ozark and Antonio Daniels for Kansas. Murray into the forecourt. Throws it up and in. So Murray stays hot. He's got 12 of the 32 for Kansas. Money drives in. Tanner Moore, corner 3. An air ball. Washington gets the rebound. Here come the Falcons. Bass for 3. Yes. Kansas can score so quickly. They're the top scoring team in the ACCA at 91 points per ball game. We saw them put up, oh boy, how many points did they score yesterday in the second half? It was around 60 points in that second half for Kansas as they took down Rama. And this second half in the 7th place game is starting to look really familiar for Kansas. Sarin dared to shoot, thought about it too much. Dressler got the offensive rebound and the foul. Big bucket there for Ozark. Fifth place game coming up next. It's a rematch of our very first game on the men's side from Wednesday evening. Barclay and Afflebus will play yet again. Second meeting for those two schools in the tournament. They'll play for 5th. Turnover, Bryce Money the steal, and he blows the layup. Washington with the rebound. Good job by Washington not fouling and using his body to create an awkward look for Money. Bass stripped. Good defense again by Ozark. They had 6 steals in the first half. They've got 8 now in the game. Daniels picks up the foul. Sarin is fouled. Second team foul for Kansas. None yet for Ozark. First free throw up and good. Kansas led for about a quarter of the first half. Ozark went on a run late, pushed the lead out. And they matched their biggest lead at 12. These two teams meeting for the 4th time this year. They met twice during the regular season. Kansas won both of those. Then they met in the Southwest Regional. Kansas defeating Ozark 101-89 in the opening round. Driving in, good aggressive play by Jackson. 49-39. Sarin lost the pass. 4-on-1. Oh, no. Jackson threw it away. He had a 4-on-1 and threw it right out of bounds. I don't believe I've ever seen that before. Allerid gets it into Sarin. Bryce Money. Money went over 1,000 points for his career yesterday in the loss to Arlington. Moore's been hot. He stays hot. Ozark back by 12. Tanner Moore, 8 points to go along with 7 rebounds here today. Offensive rebound for the Falcons. Graves drives in. DeSer. Underneath. Bass had it rejected out of bounds. DeSer with the inbound. Jackson rejected again. Dressler, another block. Out on the run, Bryce Money taking on all comers. Misses back iron. Rebound controlled by DeSer. DeSer to the cutter, Plain, and Plain is fouled. He'll get a couple free throws. Tanner Moore picking up his first. It's the first on Ozark here in the half. Stephone Jackson, leading scorer on the team at 16 points per ball game, 69% free throw shooter, junior from Dallas, Texas. Cuts his team's deficit down to 10. Full court press on. No trouble there for the Ambassadors. Dressler blows the layup. Nice pass by Moore. Dressler can't finish. Here comes the Falcons. Falcons press worked like gangbusters against Rama yesterday as Corday Bass buries a triple, and Ozark's lead is down to 7 now. That was one of the reasons why Kansas yesterday put up almost 60 in that second half. Sarin throws full court to Money. Dressler, bounce pass to Moore. Moore can't get the bounce, but he's fouled, and Tanner Moore will go to the line. Tanner Moore, 67% free throw shooter, connecting on his first. And 1 out of 2. Daniels to the bucket. He draws contact. That'll be the second foul on Ozark here in the half. Antonio Daniels, 75% free throw shooter. He's 1 for 1 here today. Make it 2 for 2. Chance to get Kansas within 6. Closest they've been since earlier in the first half. And he does. 52-46. Again, the press is on for the Falcons. So far, Ozark having a better time with it than Rama did yesterday. Money top of the key, ball deflected. Dressler comes up with it, had it poked away. Now a reach on Jackson. Team foul number 4 on the Falcons. Bryce Money. Ball deflected out. Steal by Bass. Money takes it right back. 4-on-2. Alley-oop to Dressler. Oh, he missed the layup. Tanner Moore can't get it. Dressler, third time's the charm for Ozark. So Dressler tried for the two-hand jam, couldn't come up with it, but Ozark keeps working, gets the bucket. Bass for three. He's starting to heat up. Corday Bass, 33% three-point shooter during the regular season. Connecting on a couple here in this second half. Sarin trying to break the press. It's a steal by Bass. Bounce pass by Graves, deflected back to him. Lays it up, no. Tip up, no by Daniels. Then Jackson misses, and Money collects the rebound. Money brings it into the forecourt. Bounce passes it out. Sarin drives in, draws the body, and earns himself a couple of free throws. Chris Sheeman here with you, Joplin, Missouri. Got some weather on the way, but it looks like everybody's going to be able to get out of here with no troubles. Coming later tonight, some snow. Brett Campbell coming into the game for Ozark. Tanner Moore sits down. Sarin makes it a 7-point game. 5 team fouls on Kansas, 2 for Ozark. Quick trigger three, and Graves comes right back. So Kansas slowly chipping away. It was 12, it's now 4. Allered rejected by Daniels. Staying with it, Campbell. Allered now, Dressler. Back out, Money for 3, an air ball. DeSur the rebound. Jackson into the lane, dumps it off. Easy for Daniels. Ozark's lead is 2. Here comes Campbell. Ball deflected. Ozark had numbers. Jackson tried to save it. Money steals it back. It's a track meet right now. Sloppy at times, but both teams getting up and down, and now Ozark will set up the offense. Bryce Money. Cut off in the lane. Scoops it out. Allered for 3. Missed it short. And it's Bass with the board. Going to get a timeout for Kansas. 12:04 remaining in the game. 7th place game. Ozark still leading, but Kansas storming back. Back here in Joplin, Ozark 56, Kansas 54. 7th place game. The Falcons, much like yesterday, waking up here in the second half and coming alive offensively and forcing turnovers defensively, thanks to the full court press. Turnaround shot by DeSur, and we are tied. It's the 4th tie of the game and the first since very early in the first half. Campbell cut off on the baseline. Allered back out to Campbell. Bryce Money takes it left. Money out to Dressler for three. Yes. Miles Dressler, the big man, 44% three-point shooter. He's definitely got the range. Ozark back up by three. Foul going to be called on Alarid. It's going to be the third on Ozark. Wilkins DeSur will inbound. Jackson rejected by Dressler. Miles Dressler, another block. That's his second here tonight. Dressler gets the bucket and the foul. So Ozark out of the timeout, coming back to take a 5-point lead. Team foul number 6 on Kansas. Dressler, 78% free throw shooter. Graves from downtown, he's been hot. Can't get that one to go, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Ozark. DeSur. Here's Jackson. Ozark's been in a zone most of the game. 2-3. DeSur for three. Missed it short. Rebound tip to Graves. Bass can't get it to go. And underneath. Are they going to give Graves the timeout before he fell down? Yes, they will. So we'll step aside here, come back in just a moment. .10:24 left to play. Ozark leading by 6. It'll be Kansas basketball. Chris Sheeman back here with you. Daniels, the senior, from the free throw line extended, got the jumper. Antonio Daniels in double figures. He's got 13. Boy, Alarid's pass went off the side of the backboard. Ozark somehow able to break the press, though. Scoop shot no good by Sarin. Corday Bass had it deflected. Players diving for it. This is the kind of energy you like to see. Consolation game, but both teams fighting hard past the midway point of this second half. Corey Jackson, B.J. Murray into the game. Tanner Moore returning for Ozark, as is Jordan Walters. Top two seeds will play in the third place game today at 2:15 as Graves misses a three. The reverse by Washington is no good. Ball batted out off the Falcons. So the fifth place game is up next, about 10 or 15 minutes after our game is done. Rematch of the opening round game between Afflebiss and Barclay. Third place game at approximately 2:15. And then Arlington and Champion set for 6:15. All times approximate. Money looking to back down. Tanner Moore in the lane. Hook shot in and out. Tough break for Moore. Washington. In the corner, it's Bass for three. Missed it. Matt Campbell into the game, pulling down another rebound. Ozarks led by as many as 12. Kansas led by as many as 4 at the 14:52 mark of the first half. Sarin double team, throws it away. Steal by Graves. Here come the Falcons. Graves coast to coast. Layup is good, and it's a 2-point game. In transition, Sarin trying to answer back and threw it out of bounds. Chris Lamb is hot with that decision. Almaschlecker will come into the game. Sarin will sit down. Daniels, the mid-range, around the rim, no. Put back by Washington is no good, but he's fouled. Team foul number 4 on Ozark, 6 on Kansas. Jordan Walters picking up his first. Ja'Cory Washington, 71% free throw shooter on the season. First one in and out. So Washington gets 1 out of 2. Presses on again. Campbell into the front court, lost the handle. Breakaway for Washington, who lays it up and in, and Kansas retakes the lead. It's the first lead they've had since under 15 in the first half. Almaschlecker, yes. And Kansas's second half lead, their first second half lead, is a short one. Daniels wrapped up by Moore. Team foul number 5 on Moore. Dressler coming back into the game. Allerid also back out there for Chris Lamb's team. Daniels to the bucket, no. Allerid gets the rebound. They're trying to feed Dressler. Counted in the foul. Team foul number 7 on Kansas. Dressler, 78% at the free throw line. Can't complete the old school three-point play, so still a one-possession game here. Rising and scoring is Graves. Not sure why the whistle. Inadvertent whistle. Almaschlecker to Moore. Got it to go. If the refs didn't carry whistles, this wouldn't be a problem. And the game would go way faster. It would be a lot more physical. I don't know if you know this, but back in the day when basketball was first starting, especially in the 19-teens and 20s, they were known as cagers. The games were so violent back then that they actually played them in cages, and that's why basketball players, sometimes you'll hear some old-time announcers call them cagers for that reason. The games were so rowdy, in fact, the fans would get involved as well. And some fans, especially in New York City, they would take cigars, light them, stick them through the cages, and actually burn the players with the cigars. The very first college basketball or the very first basketball game, I should say, that was played in Springfield, Missouri back in the 1890s when James Naismith was looking for something to do for his students at the YMCA. The first game was so violent that Naismith had said, okay, I've got to develop some more rules for this thing. Because what happened is they did the jump ball, and then everybody just started punching everybody in that very first basketball game. 3-ball by Jackson. Allerid throws it up and in. Now you can't breathe on a guy without it being called a foul. So we've come full circle in the game of basketball. How about Miles Dressler, his third block here today? Allerid driving, scoring, and Ozark leads by 7. Timeout Kansas, 5:43 left to go here in the 7th place game. Ozark in a 3-possession game. .543 left to go. It's Kansas basketball. They've got some work to do. Come back to tie it a couple of times. Took the lead briefly, but Ozark back up by 7. Still anybody's game at this point, though, with still 5.5 remaining. Going right around the defense, DeSur, and much-needed bucket out of the timeout for John Jansen's team. Almaschlecker will inbound it. Full court press has been on here in the second half for Kansas. Floater up, no good by Allerid. Rebound controlled by DeSur. DeSur pushes, dumps it underneath Daniels, the easy 2, and just like that, 1-possession game. Winner of this game takes 7th place here in this ACCA tournament. Bryce Money and Antonio Daniels, the 2 seniors, playing in their final collegiate game. Dressler cuts it to Money. Money floats it up too strong. Tanner Moore, the offensive rebound. He'll put it up, no. Money, an offensive rebound. He's going to back it out. Swings it out, Dressler. Dressler to the hoop, yes. Miles Dressler has to be on the all-tournament team for the ACCA. He has played so well, leading the tournament in points per game coming into this 4th and final day. Almaschlecker was driving in. Dressler was ready for it. Tanner Moore coming out of the game. Excuse me. Almaschlecker also leaving. Sarin back out there, and Campbell also returns for Chris Lamb's team. Allerid turns on to Jet, scoops it off the back of the iron, and he'll go to the line Team foul number 8 on Kansas, 6 for Ozark, 4:10 left to go. Got a little trigger happy with the scoreboard, 76-69. The correct score on your screen. Driving in is Jackson, had it blocked out of bounds. Exactly 4 minutes remaining. The 3 by Jackson, good with a hand in his face. 4-point game. Again, Ozark doing a much better job against Kansas's press, and Bryce Money buries the triple. The senior puts his team back up 7. Kansas has won all 3 previous meetings this year against Ozark. Daniels misses the mid-range. Ambassadors into the forecourt, Allered. Sarin top of the key. Bryce Money's defender came the double. Sarin left him open, can't get the 3. Dessert to the bucket, too strong, tipped up and in by Daniels. Kansas hanging around. Still anybody's game. That was poked away by Washington. Murray into the game, had the hot hand in the first half for the Falcons. Deshaun Graves, number 30, has had the hot hand here in the second. Back in to close this one out. Allered bounce past the Money. Money will shoot the deep 3. Yes! Money and Daniels are playing like 2 guys who want to get that W in their final game. Washington, yes. 2-possession game with 2:10 remaining. That ball deflected. Good defense by Murray. Murray pulls up left of the lane. Campbell with the rebound. Inside 2 to go here in the 7th place game. Bryce Money again. Yes! 9-point game for the 1,000-plus point scorer for Ozark. Money knocked it away. On the breakaway, Bryce is going to take it in, throw it down with an emphatic dunk, and Ozark is on their way to win number 14 on the season and their first here in the tournament to take 7th place. Quick bucket by Washington. Kansas needed that. Kansas not getting back on defense, but Ozark wants to run some time here. Falcons are going to wave the flag, bring in 3 bench players. Bryce Money. He's going to take this shot just inside the arc. No, Dressler tips it out. Rebound controlled by the Falcons. It's Washington. Daniels travels with the basketball. And here comes Anderson, Veda, and Hall for Kansas. Ozark's going to make a sub as well. For Matt Campbell, coming into the game is Dylan Hidalgo. Ozark will take one more shot here. They will win 7th place. Bryce Money top of the key. Miles Dressler gives it back to him. They're feeding their senior leader. And Bryce Money has sealed the deal today for Ozark. Shot clock is off. So the Falcons will wrap their season at 21-8. Another foul. So Ozark can take out Bryce Money and get him some well-deserved applause. So Money goes to the bench. He gets some hugs from his coach, Chris Lamb. Chris Hurd comes into the game, and what a career for Bryce Money. So a 1-1 here on the intentional foul. It'll be Hall to take the free throws. Jackson Hall, 3 points per game on the year, connects on his first free throw. So Kansas Christian will go to 21-8. That's how their season will wrap. Ozark, 14-18. Second straight year they won their conference tournament, so a lot to be proud of for Chris Lamb's team here in 2018 and 19. And for John Jansen's team, 21 wins is nothing to shake your fist at, although they had higher hopes for this tournament. Your final in the 7th place game, it's Ozark 89, Kansas 80. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to go to the 5th place game here at 12:30. It's AFLBS and Barclay College meeting for the second time here in this tournament. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you again in about 24 minutes.